All right, we're live. Awesome. It's good to be back. How we doing, folks? As you can see, DJ Space Cat is back in action. He had to get cleaned. So I have fly paper down here for the fruit flies, which didn't do a whole lot. But my cat knocked it off the table it was on, and then it got on DJ Space Cat, and then I stepped on it. So I was dragging DJ Space Cat around the basement for a minute with some amazing new language that I used. If you're ever mad enough to yell the words corn mother, that's pretty mad. That's angry. I had a rough week, so I'm going to recline today. But today, you're in luck. We have a great sponsor. It's whatever's in this bottle. If you can guess what's in this bottle, put it in the comments. It's not alcoholic. I'll say that. And it doesn't have caffeine. Those are your 2 hints. It is delicious. I was in a rush to buy it. That's your last hint. But we have Scott Ellicott is back to talk to me. So not finally, but we're excited to have him. So we're really just going to have a conversation and have some isopods going in the background. We're going to talk about, I don't even think Scott knows. We're just going to kind of riff tonight, but I really want to talk about like the state of the hobby and just some generalities. So without further ado, let me bring on the man himself, Senor Ellicott. Senor Ellicott, welcome to the show.
Wesley, actually.
I know. Have I been saying Ellicott?
Yeah.
I know too many Scotts. It's Scott Wesley. Oh my God. I put Scott Wesley on the thing though in Facebook. Everybody knows it's supposed to be you, so they're probably confused now.
Right.
Scott Ellicott is he's my Rip-Off Ants Canada guy. So Jesus, I feel like a total dick now. All right.
A good start.
Yeah, let's get going. So we're gonna talk about Walter Kern, and Christian Biggleston. We got a couple other people we're going to talk about. They're going to butcher their names. So, Scott, you've got some dairy cows for us to look at while we're talking.
Yes.
Oh, and they just got shrimp. All right, we're going to see how long it takes them. Because the last video I did, Scott, I know you didn't tune in, but the last video we did, we had leaf cutter ants, and they had a huge bin of leaves. And we watched them destroy it over the course of 2 hours. Like, it was down to stems. It was awesome. What's up, Rick? Rick Rodriguez is here, or Ramirez, or Radistads. I don't know. I'm going to call him Ramirez because I'm getting everybody's name wrong today. I can't believe I did that. I said Scott Ellicott in my head. I was like, yeah, no, that's right. That's totally right. Idiot.
No, that's all right. It's all right. I'll accept it.
So we agreed not to have Tyler on. Whoa, did you just add those in?
Yep.
That's not a normal rush. Okay, all right. Tyler, I thought we agreed you were going to shut up and not be on camera. I thought we agreed that.
Yep.
So last time Scott and Tyler were on, it became the Tyler show, which I'm fine with, but I felt bad for Scott. But Scott had so many issues with your tech last time that it was just, It was almost unbearable. But being able to tease your daughter about it made it super funny. So,
right. So now we're
just very happy for them.
Which works great.
Perfect. I like that you have your banner in the background.
Yeah.
It's not as cool as mine, but I like it. It's very readable. Did you change it, or is that how it's always been?
Yeah, I had it a little fixed a little bit.
Okay. It was initially a little unreadable to me.
Yes.
So. All right, Ty, I think that's good. You can stop adjusting the pods. Let's let them do their thing. You're freaking them out. So you said you went from 5 to 100 in these guys, and like, how long did that take?
A couple weeks. This is just a bin that I throw everything that gets lost in translation. I just throw them all in here. Cows are winning.
Okay, so this is we're going to see other stuff slide through in here.
You may see powders or Gestroy in there, but mainly cows.
Get those Gestroy out and send them down to me. What are you doing? Or up to me?
They're all over the place. I don't know.
Send them right to me. I'm to the right of you. Send them to the right, and I'll take care of them. I have the 6 that I had. I don't think I have any more than that. So these are dairy cows primarily, folks. These mostly white with gray to black spots. They are extremely prolific. These are, I call them the gateway isopod because they get more people started in this hobby than I think any other isopod. I think they're responsible.
That's
even more than like
prolific, like you said.
Easy to keep, breed fast, they're out a lot. Like once they get used to things and they get good numbers, they're out all the time. They're doing stuff. They'll start dragging these shrimp off into the bush. So what have you got in here? You've got leaves. You've got some cork bark I see in the top. And then what is this green moss?
That's just the forest moss.
Okay. Is that your go-to now?
That is. It's cheap, and I get a ton of it. So.
Well, because you're at the shows all the time, right?
A lot of the isopods, you eat it. So.
Oh, okay. So then when you're replacing it, you know when it's time to replace it, right?
Yeah. As soon as it turns brown and crusty, you just put some more stuff on top.
Awesome. And they just chow down on it.
Oh, yeah.
So now have you been at the recent shows? You pretty much go to every show around you, right?
I try to. But I haven't been in like the last 3-4 weeks. But.
Rick says he's still waiting on your shirt. So
yeah, everybody's still waiting on my double extra large shirt, you big folks.
Yeah, big folks. I totally get that. My 2X ass understands that situation. So having been to the shows, we have been noticing or are about to be prepped for pretty much a continental shift in the hobby here. Because I don't know if you saw my post on IsoBuddies. So Smugbug, Lauren, I think her name is?
Yes.
Lauren, see, I got that right. Okay. I don't know her last name, but Lauren over at Smugbug, you can check her out at smugbug.com. She has apparently cut a deal up here with PetSmart. So I was kind of blown away. I saw the label with her logo on it for Smugbug on the shelf at PetSmart. And I was like, I had to do a double take. So I was like, my brain was like, you know that for some reason, you know what that is. Because I was just glancing, and it was powder blue isopods, pruinosis, and dwarf whites. Dwarf whites were there as well. That was all that they had at the Joliet PetSmart. So, but that's a big deal. Like PetSmart and Petco, I feel like I think I can say this with confidence, they are the biggest, like big box pet stores, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So they were in the feeder section. So if you're looking, check out your PetSmart, your Petco. I don't know where Petco would keep them, but PetSmart has them with their feeders, which I think is appropriate. I think that's fair. I don't know how much. I didn't get to ask the person. They were really busy. I was going to be like, oh, what's this about? Like, and play stupid and see what they know about isopods. And then just drop that ball. Like, you don't know shit.
Probably could have made a video about that.
That would have been funny. Like, have the little video like, hey, man, I'm not doing an interview, but I feel like not that you need to know anything about powder blues, but I'm wondering, what are your thoughts? Like, do you think this is good for the hobby, or do you think this is a detriment, or are you neutral? Like, what do you think about having isopods available in the pet stores now, in the major pet stores?
I think it's still pretty new for everybody, so we'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
But I always buy local pet stores for sure. I'll go to Petco or PetSmart when I need to for feeders, but shop local if you can. That's just my opinion.
100%. And I will say the local stores have had isopods almost as long as I've been into isopods. So almost a year now I've seen them.
Since I've been into them, they've had at least dwarf whites or powders for sure.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I may not have noticed them before because I've been like,
you're not looking for a little tiny deli cup, you know?
Right. Like, who needs that? What's this deli cup for $12? Like, who the hell?
Right. What's in this thing? For sure.
But like the place by me, they just agreed to do an interview. Animal Island in Midlothian just agreed. We're going to do an on-site. Well, I'm going to do an on-site interview. Okay. Yes. The Cylons have shown up. What was that? Did you get that, or is that just me?
I got something.
Okay. All right. It's like a Cylon fart.
Ignoring it.
Okay. I can't do it. I have no attention span whatsoever. So I like to have them at the real pet stores, like, I don't want to say that either. I like to see them at the mom and pop, the privately owned pet stores.
That's what we want to keep them,
For sure. Yeah. And that's like, if I was dealing in isopods, I would try to cut deals with those stores. Just because, especially for something more advanced than dwarf whites and the unkillable powder blues, powder orange, whiteouts, whatever. I don't know of a pruinosis species that is killable, but like, people talk about roaches, but I think that those guys are just unreal. as far as survivability. So I don't know where I stand on this one. I don't know where I stand. Like, I'm excited for Laura, obviously. That's a big deal. I feel like that's going to be a lot of work. I don't know that I would try to. There you go. Look at that, Ophi. Rick got the address for Animal Island right there for me.
There you go.
I'm just going to leave that up until we get
They got
another.
lots available. I know that.
Yeah, it's a great store. It's like that awesome. Talking to him, it's like that awesome old school pet store with like the slim aisles, and they just have stuff floor to ceiling. Just packed. If you want to look for a tarantula, go there, pack a lunch, because they've got dozens of them stacked to the ceiling in those big like pie looking bins, and then they've got slings and the little ones. It's just awesome. And it has that. They have a million feeders in there, like rats, mice, whatever. But there's no smell, or like minimal smell, which I think is, I don't know how he does it. Honestly, I don't know how he does it.
Store. That's
he
good.
does, absolutely. I told him, I said, that's probably the most impressive thing about your store that I can mention. And that may show how old I am and how I've been in the hobby for a little while.
Well, I worked at Birds and Beasts in Crystal Lake for almost 4 years. So.
Okay. I've never been. Is it awesome?
Oh, it's a great store.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, for sure. Lots of tarantulas, like you said. Geckos, everything. Frogs, tree frogs.
All that stuff is just so great. The stores that are doing all that stuff and helping out the little breeders, not even helping them out, but utilizing them, because those are the experts.
Yeah.
We are ostensibly the experts now, right? Not me, but
maybe. I'm a hobbyist still. Ain't no expert.
Hobbyist. Yeah. Floor to the ceiling bins right behind you, and you're a hobbyist.
Yeah, I'm a hobbyist.
Hobbyist with a banner. All right, we're updating. So the isopods are going to town.
Are they?
Yeah. Can you see them?
Oh, yeah, I see a few there.
That's kind of why I was glad you did it with cows, because they're so easy to see come in. I'm honestly surprised there's not a big one just dragging stuff off like they do. I've been waiting to see one of the big cows just like, oh, this is mine. I'll see you later.
But there's action, so that's good.
That is good. That is good. I want to try to get this on every video. See, I think there's big changes in store. Like, what do you think that means to you? Like, what are you hoping to see out of this? Like, obviously more people are going to see isopods and become aware of them. I don't know how much. Like, I don't know what that experience is going to be like for them. I haven't checked.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see.
It's all super early. Like, have you been around? How long have you been in the hobby? How long have you been breeding?
Probably 2.5 years now.
Okay.
Almost 3 years.
All right. And you're getting into the weird stuff now, right?
That's all I look for now.
Yeah, right. So are you still selling the bread and butter ones like these guys?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Are you still? Yeah.
Absolutely. I keep everything.
I mean, that's what gets people into the hobby, the cheaper, I don't know what to call them, like the headline species, I guess. Or they're not headlines anymore.
But bioactive.
Yeah, exactly. Get bioactive and make it pretty.
Bioactive enclosure. They got powders. They got dwarfs. They love them. They want them to get something else that doesn't actually need to be a cleaner, but something that they can just watch. That's what gets people into it.
Yeah, and I think they're so easy to keep, and you can keep them in such small containers at first that it makes it cool. You can have a desktop, like that whole display behind you. You could turn that into a desktop thing with the right little, with like 5 or 6 of each species in a little cube, stacked up Lego style.
Right. Which is what I started out with a shelf that held 5.
Held 5 little bins?
Had 5 little bins.
What was your first 5?
Well, the cows, chocolate high yellows.
Oh wow, okay.
Gestroy, powder orange, powder blue, and dwarf whites.
Okay, so you had the basics and then chocolate high yellows. That's
yeah, I got those on eBay, and I still got the colony going strong.
That's so cool to hear. That's so cool to hear. Now, over 2.5 years now, how do you keep a colony going like that? Like, what are the tips?
I feed them regularly. Make sure their humidity is correct. That's about it.
Now, are you a fan of I've just recently been hearing about people that I didn't know it was a thing. I kind of thought it was a thing, like you want to refresh their soil. Do you do much to refresh it? Like, do you do much to change them out? Do you?
Not generally.
I mean, they're pretty low key, and you've got successful colonies for 2.5 years. Like,
Right.
That works. Obviously, that works.
Usually just keep upgrading. Like the cows, I had to upgrade and upgrade. But once I
Believe
upgraded
me.
to a bigger bin, they just kind of didn't produce as much.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
this little bin that the video's taken is producing more faster than my giant bin that I've set up.
I do feel like they need space. Like once they have space, they explode again.
That didn't work for me.
That didn't work for you?
No, I don't know if I set them up wrong or what, but keeping them in tiny enclosures, there's hundreds of them. The big enclosure, they reproduce very slow for me. It might be just my personal experience, though.
Okay. All right. Because you hear about people that are like separating them out, like especially with the bigger giant Spanish isopods, like they like space, they get a little territorial.
Right.
Hoffs, you want to keep Hoffs like not too many in a bin, a good sized bin, just so that they have.
Them I could see, but I went from a 16 quart to probably a 30 quart, and it was too big.
That was it on the cows? They were like, forget it.
As much as they should be.
Unreal. I wound up putting mine in I don't even know what size it is, like one of those massive under the bed.
Well, that's what I got the cows in, and I got my zebras in.
Okay. My zebras just started breeding. They were dying off like crazy, and now I have an abundance, finally.
But I mean,
everybody talks about
good. They're established. But it's not like if I have them in a 16 quart bin where you can see thousands when you lift up one little log, you know?
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I know. I wonder if it's just that they can't help but fornicate because they just keep running into each other.
It could be. I don't know.
Just keep running into each other. It's gonna happen.
Hobbyist, not an expert.
That's fair. But I mean, you've seen stuff. Like that's all I'm saying. You've seen stuff. You're not the end. Everybody's got their own system with isopods too. Like everybody's got their own system, their own like
commandments. What works for me may not work for you. What work for you may not work for me.
Exactly. On any given species.
Right.
So I'm kind of excited to see what these changes have in store for us. Now what kind of changes have you seen over the last 2.5 years at shows? Like just at shows?
You're just seeing more and more isopods being sold.
So the competition's even getting
a
bit more fierce.
Bigger. But I mean, it's not extreme. It's just minimal. But you see the bigger pet stores trying to sell them and
knock it off. Back off the little guy, jerks. I've only been to a couple of shows. Yeah, I've only been to the couple of shows. I've been to the one that I went to see you guys, you and Ty, and then that's where I decided I want to get a blue tongue skink because that one was so awesome.
So did Tyler. So
that's the worst. I was like, oh, can I hold him? Mistake. Those stumpy little legs are what sold me.
We got Tinley this weekend.
Oh, is there one in Tinley?
Yeah.
I might have to check that out.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of going back to work here in a minute. So this weekend might be my last one for a while. Might have to check that out. Yeah, take a field trip. Yeah. That's Scott Smith's or whatever, right?
No.
Which
NARBC Tinley Park. It's a big one.
Really?
Yeah.
How did I not know they came back?
Yes.
So Saturday,
Sunday.
I'll have to find out who's going. Are you showing or are you just going to go?
I've got some isopods showing up, but not by me.
What do you mean? I don't understand that.
I'm hooking up a friend that needs some help with it. I don't even know if he needs help. I offered and he said, okay, box them up.
So you're going to go work his table or you're going to just like set some isopods up there?
I'm sending isopods.
Okay.
But I'm going to show up. I'll be there. I got to check it out. It's Tinley Park.
Check that out then. Okay, Rick's going to be there. How did I not see this coming? This is brand new. So if anybody else comes on, you just pretend you didn't know. So I don't feel so stupid. Like I've been out of touch. I've honestly been out of touch in the whole thing for the last 2 months. So, and you fall behind so fast. So in 2 years, you've seen more competition. I don't want to say competition, but more enthusiasts.
Yes, absolutely.
And this hobby, it's almost impossible not to become a breeder and a seller because like I just sold the vast majority of my collection to Rick from Ophi Spider-Verse a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago. And I was going through my bins to get rid of the dirt, and I was like, I'm gonna be right back where I was 6 months from now. I'm gonna have exactly the same, because it's like at some point I just stopped. I was like, I have to stop digging in here. It's been 6 hours that I've been going through these bins, and my bigger ones, I kept going through them. Like, how do you get big orders, or are you mostly selling like the dozens or the 30 or whatever?
I'll do wholesale orders for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't do a lot of them, but I'll do them for sure.
So now when you're counting them out, do you have a method? Do you have a special method for that? Because I had a real hard time.
Yeah, I just close one eye and I start dumping.
Okay.
Counting.
Start
And
dumping.
make sure I give them more than what they're asking for. That's my method.
I mean, why not? Why not with this? So, yeah, I just basically was like, I'm going to sell you all of these species, all that I have. And I should have just brought the bins with me because it was really dumb. Yeah, it was really dumb because I was like, I'll just scoop and scoop and scoop and scoop.
No.
And it was like 10 more of those scoops and scoops. And I still have Mankai. Now I have like mid-sized ones again, but I still have Mankai in almost every bin that I sold stuff from.
Right.
So
without selling the whole bin, you're not getting rid of your colony.
Exactly. Like, you're going to have them. I didn't know. Like, I mean, I should have. But you don't think. Like, again, 6 months from now, I'm going to be almost right back where I started. Like, it's going to be just tons of isopods. Now, how rare is a crash for you, like a colony crash in 2.5 years?
I have troubles with a few species that I've acquired multiple times, and they just will not take off from me.
Now, what's that? What are the species you think that are?
Well, the Hasi highs, high yellows, will not do anything for me.
That's weird. I wonder what you're doing different. I haven't heard about them being difficult.
I'm doing something wrong. They're just being super difficult with me.
And you said you've gotten them a couple times. Like, I had a problem with Clue Guy, Montenegro.
Right.
That I could not get them to breed, and people have thousands. Am I showing you? Oh, this is the secret drink. I don't know if anybody's watching. Whoop. There it goes. It's right at the top there. Here we go. We're going to do a magic trick. No spill. No spill.
I got a super drink too.
You got a secret drink?
Mm-hmm.
That looks like it's in a flask. Oh, never mind. You got a koozie.
It's in a koozie.
We haven't had an alcoholic sponsor on yet, so but these videos aren't for kids, so whatever. I don't know if you checked in on your pods, but they are decimating the shrimp right now.
Are they?
It's hard to see shrimp. Yeah,
that's
it's kind of, you have to look for the orange of the shrimp now.
Yep. Nice.
I don't know if you noticed with your dairy cows, mine tend to turn the color a little bit of what they ate the days before. So
right. With the lighter color species of isopods, you're going to see what they're digesting.
Exactly. So
that's like I have powder or whiteouts. People who knows whiteouts, and I feed them carrots.
Okay.
They look like powder oranges. I'm like, no, they just ate carrots.
Fakers.
Yeah.
Fakers. Which one of those is going for more right now? Because I was always shocked at the variation in the price of those guys.
They're all the same for me.
They're all the same for you?
Yeah.
I guess I'm...
Whiteouts, powder blues, powder oranges are all the same. Oreo crumbles are right behind them.
They're right behind them or right above them? Like Oreo crumbles I see are going for more. I got you.
Going for more, but they're reproducing so well.
They're just a cool species. I like the pie, like piebald style of the crumbles. I like that in any of the isopods. And I've been seeing some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen in the hobby come out the last couple months, and things I didn't know existed, and people are checking them out and going for them. I would say, like, what's the most rare species that you've had or have now?
Right now?
Or like high end, I guess.
I don't know. It would either be the Armadillidium rufoi, which I haven't bred for me yet. But
I haven't even heard of those. So awesome.
yeah, no, they're pretty. They're really pretty.
What is the color like on those guys?
White skirt, black tint with yellow speckling, I would say.
Okay. I'm going to have to check those out. I'm going to have to Google that later.
Yeah, but they're pretty cool.
And they're supposed to breed like Armadillidium? Or are they pretty new to you?
Supposed to breed like Armadillidium, but I don't know.
Once they get going, they'll take off.
They don't look like Armadillidium to me, so.
They don't even look like Armadillidium?
Not to me. They're a little flatter than the brown boys. But
That's the problem I'm having with the hobby right now. So do you think they're more like Nasadum or more like some kind of Cubaris? Am I too loud? I feel like I'm yelling.
For sure. But something.
It's just frustrating to me that the hobby is in such a state of craziness with people discovering or breeding new species and not having any hope of having them actually ID'd.
Right.
I hope that's not me making that noise.
Ridiculous. No, that's Opie. It's Rich. He's messaging me.
Oh, okay. All right. He's coaching you. Hey, man, talk about this.
Yeah.
Throw out something for Opie. Such good people. There's so many good people in this hobby, too. It's hard to imagine. If I get to hear finally somebody trash talk somebody else, I'm like, where's this coming from? This sounds super personal because
Right.
I don't know a bad person.
Right. They're out there, but
I imagine. Yeah. And you'll find, I feel like those people won't last long in the communities. Everybody's kind of so tight-knit. Not tight-knit, but...
Right. We all talk to each other.
Yeah, there's the expectation that everybody just be decent to each other. Not even an expectation, it just is. It's just what happened. Like, I've never been in an online community that's been so welcoming and so ready to just discuss all their little trade secrets and whatever else. Because I was just talking to somebody about pill millipedes, and they went sharing Hossie pics. They went crazy. They just started throwing stuff at me like, oh yeah, no, you should do this, you should do that. I was like, okay, cool. Because honestly, that's my next go-to. I think I'm going to try those guys out next.
Pill millipedes?
Yeah, just because I think whatever species, I know they only have a couple that you can actually keep and keep successfully. Right.
Still tough, though.
So for those that don't know, pill millipedes look like roly-polies. They look like giant roly-polies, but they're actually millipedes. They're like stumpy millipedes, and they're almost impossible to keep outside of the wild because there's something they're eating that affects their gut and helps them digest whatever they eat. That's the suspicion. We don't really know. But they'll live like, 4 or 5 months and then just die.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it takes them about that long to starve to death.
I haven't tried them yet. I'm scared to. They're too expensive for trial and error type of thing.
Yeah, I don't want to be that forerunner. Like, I want to get them when they're, here's what you do. Here's a little, like, maybe here's an additive you have to get, or you have to feed them zucchini or whatever.
Absolutely.
I'm guessing it's something obvious that we're missing that they don't know, because I don't think these things are pretty prolific in the wild, so I don't imagine they're that sensitive.
Right.
So not like some some crazy super rare whatever. But back to regular old isopods. Regular old awesome isopods. So you're keeping yours all in the same room. They're pretty much kept the same. I was also just talking to somebody about the difficulties of like the Spanish isopods, like how when they first came out, it was a big deal. The giant ones, but I don't imagine that. Like, I can't imagine that now. Like, were people just keeping them too wet? Do you know about the history on that?
Mine are pretty dry, for sure.
Right. I can't imagine people having a hard time with them.
Plenty of airflow and dry.
That's it.
One little wet corner and you should be good to go.
That's good secrets. I don't even have that good of airflow with mine, and they're doing great. I should probably upgrade that airflow on them as soon as possible, but I've been saying that for months. They're doing great, so I don't change anything if they're doing well.
Don't. And even when they're not doing well, if you try to change something, it might not work. I don't know. Like I said, with the Huskies, I've had 3 batches. I don't know what I'm doing with them.
Were you keeping them the same, or are you keeping them in different type of thing?
I add ventilation, add moisture, take away moisture. They're just not doing good for me.
That's just weird. Like, I've been there. At least that's more of a like advanced species than Klugat Montenegro. But I know exactly how frustrating that is. Like, plenty of people do just fine with Hasi.
There's still plenty in there. Whatever.
What's that on the shrimp? Oh, he's adding more shrimp.
He's adding more shrimp.
Tyler, we're trying to see them just see how much they would eat in the hour we're going to talk.
They're going to eat it.
I know. Oh, they will. Yeah, they definitely won't let it go to waste.
Right.
I've been supplementing mine with steel cut oats now, because that's a protein source and a fiber source for them, and they lose their minds over the steel cut oats, like they're gone the next day. I also wasn't prepared for how many leaves a giant colony will go through, like how quickly. So 2 giant handfuls, that's a hand right there, folks, of leaves in a week, easily. Yeah. In a week. They're gone. It stems. So there's not even any of that like goofy leaf art that people are doing where they strip the leaf out, everything with the veins. Gone. Yeah, it's just gone. There's not even a trace. There's like the stem is all it is. Yeah. So I've had to do that twice a week, and now I'm starting to be able to keep ahead of it. But even after twice a week, you can still see the levels are down.
That's like my dilatatus. I can't keep them fed enough. Just can't do it.
Those guys, and
I feed them every other day.
I need to find a way to get rid of some because I have hundreds and hundreds. It was one of my first species, and it's unreal. It's unreal how many are in there right now. They're in a 10-gallon tank with a cave system that I kind of built for them so they could burrow where I could still see them. And it's insane. Like, there's tons in there, but then on the main, like, middle of it is a ton too. It's just like a carpet almost. So I try to stock it with bark, like stacks of bark.
Talk about prolific, but you just can't see them because they burrow.
Yeah, I don't think there's any room for them to burrow anymore. Like, it's packed down there. I don't even want to know what it looks like under the ground. But yeah, you put stuff in there and it's gone. It's like you can hear that.
Right. Exactly.
Cartoon termites. But yeah, so you're still keeping the giant canyons too then, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that you look like you know exactly where that bin is. That's awesome.
I do, but it's not there because I had to get the dairy cows out.
Oh, so they're up your whole situation.
They're on top of the roaches right now.
Oh god. We just disrupted the whole situation at Isopod Freaks. So, like that's one of the other starter species. I think that's really a good one.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, the isopods left. They don't want to hang out anymore.
The phone probably died.
The phone died?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Tyler. His kids today.
All right. Well, he's going to sit in for me for a minute.
Oh, he is? All right.
He is. Because it's got to happen.
All right, Tyler. So when are you getting that haircut?
As soon as possible.
Yeah? Get yourself over to Sport Clips. Get that lady to wash your hair for you afterwards. Just try not to fall asleep. It's the best. It's the best feeling in the world. So don't let anyone tell you different.
Last time I went there, they destroyed my haircut.
Yeah, I mean, you're what, 14? You'll be fine. You'll get new hair. What are they going to say? How's school now that you've been back in school? I've heard some nightmare stories up here in Joliet. Like, there's been insane amounts of fighting in the schools.
Definitely.
Yeah? A lot of fighting at your schools?
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. Like, what is the point of that?
I don't know. People get in arguments over stupid stuff.
But, like, where did it come from? It wasn't like that the year before last, right? Or that you remember? It grows back. Yeah, it does.
Exciting.
Well, now, did you go from like junior high to high school over the pandemic, or?
Yeah,
Okay, that had to be super weird.
it was. I only got 1 year of middle school.
That's super weird. What is your middle school though? Like each town is a little different. Is yours just 7th and 8th?
Oh, mine's 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Okay, so you're 6th grade basically,
Yeah.
and now you're freshman.
Yep.
I can't imagine. Like I feel bad for the high schoolers that had to go through that, but like to miss like an 8th grade graduation, that's almost more fun because you're not worried about being cool. You're still a kid. Like you just do whatever. Like a water balloon fight at your party is the best thing in the world. I don't know. It was for me. That was the height of technology when I was a kid, though. Water balloons were like pretty huge technology. We didn't have any of this stuff. We had Grandpa's walkie-talkie from the war. He still had his toe stuck to it. It's not good. Not the best toy. So for everybody who wants to know, Tyler's the one that named the channel Isopod Farts for the Isopods. He's got the gift.
What I do now?
I can hear you. Oh, you just needed a refill?
Maybe.
Double or nothing.
Double or nothing. He's got it going on. He's got the dad stuff down already.
I think your phone died. But
No, my phone just turned off.
oh,
It just turned off. It gave up on you.
Yeah.
Jerk phone.
now you put it back on.
See, that's why I'm an Android kid all the way. Android. Got to keep it real. Politics, probably. It's all politics. Oh, Moon, you think the kids are fighting in high school over politics? Does that make sense to me? I can't see the high school kids being like, Trump won. I can't see that. That would be pretty funny to me, but I can't see that. So, I almost wanted to talk about politics tonight a little bit, but I wanted to know. That's another show.
I'm not a politics guy at all. So this
That's
is
not our show.
conversation.
I just kind of wanted to make fun of it. Politics in general.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I guess I could still do it, but
No,
Can you hear the echo?
no, Tyler.
Okay. Making sure.
I don't hear an echo. Let me see. We got that channel's muted, so you should be good.
Right. Only I hear the echo.
Ooh, they're fighting over
I
it.
think it's so weird you still hear it. I have it like totally muted on my end, which should take care of it, but that's weird. Fine, whatever. So you guys are gonna go to Tinley on Saturday?
I'm not sure what day when I make it there.
Okay.
I'm
I'm trying to make it there one of the days. So
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll post it up in the show. I just like to go to browse.
Absolutely. Browse and spend a bunch of money.
Right? The $10 to get in or whatever is just fine. Or whatever it is. Unless you tell them you're a Scot.
No. Then it'll cost you more, I think.
Didn't cost me anything. It was awesome. It was super smart. Best move. Oh, it saved me $8.
I got Tylenol.
Wally's back. You got a what? You got a town home?
You got Tylenol for me.
Excedrin. It was Excedrin.
Yes.
It's still in my purse.
Migraine.
So I keep Excedrin in my purse just in case I want to get into a show. I got his migraine medicine right here. He's got his kids with him. You know he's got a headache.
That's fun.
I've always got a little scam going. I'm not a big scammer, but the little scams are the best. And I feel like that didn't hurt Scott Smith one bit.
No. He's doing just fine.
I need to get to the shows now. Do the shows still have the smaller ones? Do they still have like the occasional crazy thing? Because I remember seeing some absolutely crazy stuff at some of those shows back in the day.
Oh, back in the day, yeah.
Yeah,
There was.
like 10 years ago even. It was like, wait, what? You have what here now?
Before it was even Scott's, it was Lee Watson's.
Well, Lee Watson's was when they used to have like raccoons. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
would sell raccoons there. And it was like, what? What are you
Poison
doing?
snakes, all sorts of crazy shit. So
Yeah. Hey, we can say that here. We just don't drop F-bombs. We try real hard not to drop F-bombs, but we kind of throw an expletive warning when Amy Castles comes on the show because she can't stop herself.
venomous snakes and everything was back then in the day.
Well, it was, venomous snakes. It was crazy back then. It was like a Wild West.
Yeah.
And now there's all these lockdowns on all this stuff, and I guess that's good.
Yeah, for sure.
It's good, but to be honest, like, for me, it takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, it was the attraction.
Yeah, it was almost like a zoo. You could buy stuff, and you'd get sucked into buying stuff that was like being kept in crappy conditions at the show.
That's
You'd be
still
like,
which is horrible, but
that's true. That's true. Or whatever turtles you wanted for like the size of a nickel, you know. And you're like, yeah, I'll take 20 of those, please. Thank you.
still shouldn't be sold at all.
Right. But then, like, I don't know. You got kids, and they don't care what you put them in at the show either. Most of those guys didn't care.
Right.
So that's why I like that it. Yeah. I feel well, he says it's not as fun when he's vending next to the chicken breeder at those old school shows. I imagine the old school Wisconsin shows are insane.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like just crazy amounts of craziness happening over there. But yeah, there's another change. Like, I don't want to say they homogenized it, but it's got to be for the best that all of those things aren't available to the public. Because those animals, 90% of those animals are just going to suffer.
Right.
Because most of the people that are impulse buying that stuff are not prepared for what that animal needs.
For what they're getting. Exactly.
Yeah. Like, I got a hold of a guy who he was selling a kinkajou at Scott. I don't think it was Scott Smith's at the time. It was like 10 years ago. He was selling a kinkajou, which is kind of like a ferret and a squirrel had a baby. I don't know how to explain it. With a semi-prehensile tail. Like, it had almost the body of a ferret, but like squirrel limbs and kind of a squirrel face.
I really have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, well, Google it. I'll put it up there. They're pretty cool. Really, really short hair. So I looked it up. I was like, I don't have the money because the guy wanted like $800 for it or something. And he's like, no, man, hold it. And I was like, I didn't have a wife or a kid. I was like, oh, this is happening. This is happening today. I can spend my whole check right now. Lee Watson back then. All right. Wally confirmed that was Lee Watson.
Yeah, Lee Watson. That was a long way.
So yeah, you come to find out that these things, like, they want a lot of space, which is fine. I had my own apartment at the time. I would have done whatever. But they climb up to the top of your curtains or whatever, the tallest thing they can get to, and then they take a dump. And they have like a ferret dump. So I don't know if you ever seen a ferret dump. It's like,
oh yeah,
juicy. I don't know how to explain it other than juicy.
Horrible.
It's horrible. But they'll climb to the top of your curtain rod or whatever, and then take a dump. And if you have them in a cage, they'll do it in the cage. But if you take them out regularly, which you should take them out every day, they'll hold it until they get to climb to the top of that curtain rod, and then, or your shoulder, or whatever high thing they can get to. So,
well, pretty much like any gecko, they climb to the highest point in the tank and crap down the glass. So it's
that's true. That's true. Mine does that. Bastard. He doesn't climb the glass though. He just climbs the foam insert thing that I have for him. But he crapped all over that. So, yeah. But like that keeps you from getting it. Like a little bit of the research keeps you from getting it. I was like, this thing is cool, but that's a big hassle. Like I don't need that in my life. I'm not looking for an extra hassle. Like I just want something that's low key. Like my cats and my isopods are about as big a hassle as I want. Jumping spiders.
Like once a week taking care of thing is nice.
Yeah, and if you really want to push it, just cram their thing full of food. Give them a little extra moisture and take a week off, like go on vacation. So
sometimes you have to. So
yeah, I'm confident they'd be fine. I'm confident they'd be super fine if I left for 2 weeks, if they were moist enough. That's the only thing I would worry about is them drying out.
That is absolutely the worst part of it.
Yeah, but there's got to be a way to like make that moisture last longer.
But if you do, then you start getting mold and fungus and
yeah. Which I just lost that battle with fruit flies. So, the fly tape. Don't get the fly tape on your flypaper on your foot. Don't do it. You're barefoot.
No, that's never fun.
Yeah, everything. The good news is everything in your basement will stick to your floor. So whatever dirt and grossness was on your basement, it'll stick to your foot, and then you can just wash that all off in your slop sink. So,
but then the flies don't stick to it anymore.
Well, they weren't really going for it anyway. So I have to say, if you're gonna get rid of the fruit flies or try to get that fan thing with the ultraviolet light, that
The catchy, I got 4 of them.
yeah, those things are great. I don't have one, but they're great. But I did get the little, it's like this little apple, and you put like, I don't know, it's like a vinegar mixed with fly killer. Yeah, they work super great. So that's my recommendation to anybody with a fly problem. Get those bad boys. And they don't make it out, so nothing gets them.
Yes, the vinegar thing works great, actually. A little bit of dish soap in the vinegar cup.
Yeah, to keep them from getting back out. Like they basically get stuck in it then.
Right.
You can't just leave that around though. I found it makes it smell pretty bad. Like it makes your kitchen smell pretty rough if you're keeping it in there.
Really?
The homebrew, yeah. The vinegar is like pretty potent. So you're walking in every day and you're like, oh, okay, there's vinegar in there. There's vinegar in that room. But yeah. Do you give your guys food scraps, your isopods?
No.
No table scraps, no none of that.
Because I don't want to check on them the next day to make sure they ate it all.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
If they
You don't want
eat it,
that.
you're asking for it.
You're asking for that stink effect.
Yes.
I mean, you wouldn't have to check on these guys at all. Something just happened where they all took off. And now they're slowly coming back. Somebody just scared your dairy cows.
Tyler walks back home.
Okay. Because they kind of were like, they yeeted out of the way. And then, I don't think I used that word right.
That'll be gone in the morning. Whatever that is. Whatever you put in there.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I've been feeding those big dried shrimp from like the Mexican section of the grocery store. They're just dried shrimp for like soup base. And that's all it is. It's just dried shrimp with a little salt on it, I think. And isopods are known to take salt out of the soil layer. So they can process the salts right out of the soil layer. Heavy salts, salt metals. So they go nuts for those, and they're super cheap. Super cheap. But it's kind of funny because they'll hollow it out, and they'll be like in the head of the shrimp. And you're like,
it's alive.
Dude, you're kind of gross. Like, what happened in here? Did we have hybrid babies? Is there anything that do you use any of the preformed food powders like Rapashi or any of those guys?
I don't use any of it, but I know a lot of people use the Bug Burger and Morning Wood, but I don't use any of it.
Yeah, I feel like at a certain point it gets really hard to keep up with them with the Bug Burger.
Right, because I mean it's like making Jello every couple days, So
yeah, and they're wolfing it down, and you're making. I don't know. I just saw Rich made a like a sheet pan of it, basically a lasagna pan, and that's probably almost gone already.
I'm sure.
So I gave them my dairy cows, so I know what they eat. So
right, and for the price, I just don't like it. I do fish flakes mainly.
Oh yeah, so you're just buying those in bulk?
Yeah, well, as big as a container I can get. But
what do you look for in your fish flake? Like, what kind of mix are you looking for as far as like protein to fiber to whatever?
Well, I just look for Tetra Color Plus.
Okay, that's all you need.
That's all I look for.
I love how simple the hobby can be. I love how simple it can be.
Right, carrots and leaf litter, and they're happy.
The carrots are the best, and now acorn squash when it's on sale.
Yep.
Acorn squash is the best for my guys.
They'll eat up to.
And the leftover pumpkin crap, when we're coring those bad boys out, they'll go nuts.
Squash.
Yeah. 'Tis the season. 'Tis the season.
Yep. But they'll even the
Oh.
springtails. All the colonies of springtails I got. Love it.
Now, see, I just have colonies of springtails in with my colonies of isopods. Like my master culture pretty much died off. Like it's dwindling, but there's something in there still, but it's nothing compared to my small
What's in
skimmer bin.
your Isopod? That's right.
Yeah, I have 5 times the amount. I have a 15-quart bin that was my master culture of springtails, and my 6-quart bins with isopods have more springtails in it.
Flourishing.
It's unbelievable, and I do nothing to help the springtails at all. Like they're just in there, and it could be a dry bin, it could be a wet bin. They don't care.
Right.
They don't care. They're everywhere. So, I'm trying to work a way to get rid of them in my one ant colony because I don't want them in there anymore. It was a mistake to put them in there in the first place, but now it's too late.
Predator mites.
I did that, but then I found out if the predator mites aren't mature, the springtails will eat them.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I put in I think it was like, yeah, it was like 10,000. It was some culture from a website. I forget the name of it. But it was like organic ways to take care of pest species in your garden. And so predatory mites was one of them, and they're supposed to eat aphids and all of that. So I just basically dumped that thing into my ant colony. And I was like, oh, once the mites are gone, they'll die off or whatever. They're not going to hurt the ants. And it hasn't really even put a dent as far as I can tell. I don't know if they're still in there. It's hard to tell if the predatory mites are still in there because they're smaller than the springtails.
Right.
But I thought they would eat up the babies, but apparently springtails will eat the baby predatory mites. So it's like a mixed bag. It's like, who's going to win? So I don't know who's more prolific.
Spots together. Who's going to win?
Yeah, I don't know. So I put some, I put 2 daddy long legs for my yard in there because they'll eat springtails like crazy. And they most things won't eat ants at all. So because they're a hassle. But yeah, getting springtail control now is an issue. I never thought I'd want to get rid of them because I thought they would basically always be beneficial. But this is a fungus eating ant, so they grow their own fungus. And of course, springtails are gaga for fungus. Yeah. So springtails love to eat fungus.
Yeah.
So they're competing now. And these ants they're super timid. But I'm trying to find any reason I can or any way I can to get rid of these springtails. It's not working. Like baits and all that is not working. But okay, so you're using forest. Are you still using basically cork bark for your guys?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Because I've gotten some success with bark off the trees in my area.
Yeah, I've gotten some oak, but that's just I put in with my local species.
Yeah. Do your guys eat it?
The spinnicornis do. Yes.
Yeah, I've seen almost all of mine eat the bark. Like at some point they nibble it down. So it's been in there for a year.
At a certain point. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had to replace it in a couple bins, like my Scaber koi and the dairy cows. I've had to replace the bark, the not natural, but the local bark that I've used. Yeah, non-cork.
Yeah.
Cork, I've seen it get kind of worn down a little bit, but I think that's more to open up crevices that they want to get in. Right.
It depends on the cork too. Like some of it they love and some of it they hate. I don't know.
It's weird. So now out of all of your bins, I've also noticed this with a lot of people lately. People are getting different morphs or mutations in their bins. Have you seen anything like that in your bins over the years? Over the 2 years?
Not really harsh. Not really, mainly. No. I do have some albino Cubaris red skirts, but that's really all I've noticed that has been.
That's cool. An albino red skirt sounds awesome.
Well, I have a colony of them separate from the regular red skirt colony, but
you saw them in your bins first, like you just found them in your bin.
Right. They were just in the bin.
You
and they came from Wally.
Awesome. So hey, if you can't get them from Scott here, Wally's got that bloodline sitting around.
Yeah.
I found out Wally's got a couple little projects he works on the side. That
just a couple.
I don't know all of them. But he's let it slip a couple times. It's somewhat clear he wants to kind of keep it secret for now. Because I was trying to say I got these, I found these and I thought they were really cool. And he's like, oh yeah, I had something like that in my bins. And you're like, Well, I got them from you, so I know you have this. Yeah, look, see, he's shushing me right now. He's like, shh. Because I had Parachai or the Paracea, whatever they are. They're like my favorite Armadillidium, which probably they're not Armadillidium anyway. They're too flat. But they have like a blonde morph that I was getting where they're like golden instead of that blue silver look. And then my Frontorostra, I have yellow Frontorostra that are awesome. I still have a couple of those that I kept to the side that I had separated out and kept as a bin. And then I separated out some high yellow Armadillidium vulgare from my wild ones that I bought there that I found. And just literally left them alone for 6 months. I would pop the thing open, spray some water, throw some leaves in, whatever. And now I have these crazy, I was going to bring them out today, but they're all hiding so bad that I didn't mess with it. Because I separated out about 3 dozen, and they are, I'll have to post pictures. I can't really say what they look like. Like, it's hard to describe because they're just
it's crazy. The high yellows you find just out in the wild. Like, wow.
Yeah, but this is like beyond that. It's almost like they combined with like a weird leucistic gene or something. Like they have like mostly cream colored body with like these red, they almost look like strawberries. So it's hard to describe. Like that's wishful thinking, but it's hard to describe what they look like. But I've had some really good high yellow in my yard or in the graveyard where I search for stuff too. I go to the cemetery. They don't use bug spray. So that's where I go. Go there, get your bark, get your leaves.
Yeah.
They'll look at you weird when you go with a garbage bag and you're collecting leaves out of the cemetery. They'll give you a weird look.
You got the good stuff.
Yeah. Hey, man, do you mind bagging this up for me to go? But some of the gold spots, and I'm not an expert either, but I've heard that mostly the high yellow ones like that are females. I don't know how you tell on a vulgare. I don't know. I've seen the diagrams, but flipping them over to look at their little isocrotch.
Right.
Like
that's why I like to tell you. It's really easy to tell. Boy,
oh man.
Real easy.
Yeah. Those giant Spanish Porcellio are well hung isopods.
Yep.
Super easy. Those guys, what are the other ones? What are the ones that are like color dependent? The lavas?
Yes.
Or calicos. One of them is like only the female exhibits the weird color. The other ones just look like wild type, the male.
Yeah, lavas. Just scaber in general. They show color.
The females will show more color than the males?
No, I don't know. Truthfully, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, because it's interesting. It's interesting to see
I
all
know
these little.
the bin has like half and half, and one's colored and one's not. So that's for the expert. So
I mean, it's a cool thing. It's just so many cool things you can get through in this hobby in a short amount of time because the breeding rates are so crazy on these guys.
Yeah.
Like they start some of them. But I know that most of them can get basically knocked up in their third molt or something, like second or third molt.
It's got to be cow.
They're still super juveniles. Like you've got to separate them out early if you want to start a breeding project, which is hard to do because they don't exhibit colors for a little while. Like they don't exhibit their colors for a little while, so you don't know what you're separating. You're separating like
right.
They don't look the same. Anyway, so now are you one of the guys that deals with some of the pet stores? Do you do a bulk deal for pet stores or the one by you? Are you selling out of there?
No, I don't do birds and beasts.
Okay, so it's basically shows and you're
shows
online.
Mainly, and I got a guy in Milwaukee that I sell to.
Oh, okay, all right. Do you drive him up there, or what do you do? Because you're not that far.
I drive him up there for him.
Okay. And is he in a shop situation?
Yes. He's all reptile amphibians.
Is that what his thing is?
Yeah.
What's his store name? I'll give you a minute. It's not Scott Ellicott, is it?
No. He's in Canada.
It's just a little more norther. That's all. God, I'm such an asshole. That's the worst.
I can't think of it for right now.
Isn't that
He's
awful?
Milwaukee. He's right on the lake. So
I'm going to take
Great
the Animal
little
Island
store.
thing out of here.
great little store.
I love those stores that are just like those cool little holes in the wall. Like you'd hardly know about it unless you got told by a friend. It's like part of a secret club, kind of.
Like I walked in there last time, which was a couple weeks ago. It was a Nile crocodile in there.
What?
Yeah. Wisconsin don't have any rules.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess most of that stuff can't survive in the wild in Wisconsin. Like you're not going to get.
Right.
I mean, it will for a season, but once winter hits, show's over. There's no Nile crocodile living in the.
Sorry.
What's that?
Can't believe I'm drawing a blank.
Tyler doesn't know either?
No.
Tyler, you're supposed to be the smart one over there.
Only the couch.
Fair enough. Stick to your specialty. Yeah, what did we just see at the...
No, it's MKE rain frog. I'm pretty sure.
It's something rain frog.
It's something MKE rain frog.
MKE rain frog?
Yes. Does that come up? I'm horrible.
And things. Well, that's Wally's neck of the woods. He knows all those guys. What did they just have? Rich, are you still here? If Rich is still here, what did they just have up at Animal Island? They had 3. Something crazy. I can't think of it, but I love when those little mom and pops get these. Like their distributor has to be like, "Hey man, I got some of this. Are you down?" You know what I mean? Like, "Hey, are you into this? Because I got this."
No, well, they're usually it's acquired. They're not asking for it, but somebody needs help, and they take it.
Okay, like it's a
No
rescue
way
almost.
They can't sell this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, coconut crabs. It was coconut crabs. They got 3 of them.
Those things are nuts.
Yeah, and they sold them for a fortune, which
Giant
makes sense.
hermit crab.
Yeah, that'll eat you. That'll eat you. They just they found human remains on island that's all coconut crabs, and they think it's Amelia Earhart. They're pretty sure it's her. Yeah, because they found part of her plane like on the island, and then they found a human skeleton. Everything else was gone, like no clothes, no nothing. But I don't know how they didn't have DNA then. I don't know how they would test or figure it out or whatever. But
The coconut crabs.
Yeah, they'll eat you, dude. They don't even care.
You're dead, yeah.
Yeah, or if you're alive, like if they get on you, it's over.
Oh, I'm sure I could kick that thing's butt. I can tell you that right now.
I mean, one. But if there's an island full of them, if it's looking like that bin of yours, but it's coconut crabs, you're boned. It's game over. You climb a tree, they're coming up after you. That's all you got. That's all you got.
I find that hard to believe.
Look it up. Google it. Coconut crabs will mess you up.
Coconut crab attacks on humans. Come on.
You go look it up, man. Go look. I'm telling you, they're savages. They don't care. They snatch birds. They eat whatever they can get. They don't care. They're not picky. Is Tyler going to look it up right now? Is Tyler Googling it?
No. He's just
Tyler,
hanging on the corner over here.
Get out of it. Just don't use your sister's awful computer.
No. Done with that thing.
I just searched it up on my school computer.
Yeah, search it up, man.
Yeah, he's in a school computer.
The school's got to know. What are they teaching these kids these days?
Not a lot when you're failing every class.
Like at some point, I don't even know what you do with those exotics. Like, what do you do with coconut crabs? What is
They're
the point
huge.
of that? Yeah, but what is the point of keeping them? Like, they'll rip apart almost anything you build. They'll tear through that wood overnight if you're using wood. Rich is with Scott. No, I'm telling you, dude, they will eat you. Like, not all at once. Let's say this time they get a toe, and the next time they get a finger. Like, they're going to whittle you down until you're jacked up and maybe get an infection, and then they're in there. They're in there.
But once the initial attack happens, I'm eating that thing.
Well, yeah, sure. You'll stay alive on the coconut crab. It'll be like a whole circle of life situation going on there.
Taste good.
You would think so, but I don't know because it's not like they're on any menus.
Yeah, you're right there.
You know what I mean?
Garbage.
I mean, I've never seen coconut crab on a menu.
Sure.
Not ever. But I don't know. I got to look at Japan because those are the guys that'll just throw everything in a wok. Or China. They'll put like the giant ice pods, like the giant ocean ice pods. Talking about eating garbage.
Right.
See, Rich doesn't think they do it either. We're going to find out. We're going to do an investigatory episode. We're going to go on location.
I'm on investigation right now.
Tyler's on it right now?
Yeah.
It's going to be like National Geographic. We're going to find the proof. We're going to bring it to you, the people. Okay? I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready for this. Should we make bets? What is this?
Keychain.
Is that a Dilatatus keychain? Oh, no. That's just a...
That's a lemon blue, I believe.
It's the whole thing. Okay.
Or Jupiter.
It looked like it was just some kind of like... The way it's jiggling. Hold it still.
Trying.
Okay. It looked like it was just... The yellow part was just the plastic that the other thing was like stuck in. The blue part. So did you have these made? Duckies. Awesome. Did you have these made or did you
No, I got them off of somebody. I'm going to show the business card after I show all the pretty keychains.
He made some good choices on what he's showing off here. Panda Kings. This is like a test. I feel like I'm being
yeah, this should be. Name that isopod. You better be able to name this one.
Oh, that's Jim. Oh, okay, there we go. That's Dairy Cow for sure. Yeah, good luck trying to find where the hell your camera's at. It's always reversed.
It is. It's horrible.
It's the worst. It's the worst. Last week I was pointing at stuff. I was like, yeah, look at this right here, guys.
Then you got this guy.
Is it the Koi Scaber?
I don't think it's Koi. I think it's Orange Dalmatian.
Ah, garbage. No. It's a good looking pod. It's a good looking pod. Dalmatian. Suck it, Dalmatian. Yeah. Get the orange koi.
I got them from her. She's on Etsy.
Carrie Bird. All right.
She's local.
Like
she's local for us.
Okay, she's out Geneva way, or you're out that way, aren't you? You're not in Geneva.
Off in the States is where she is.
In the States. All right.
That's but easy. She's got stickers.
Does she go to shows too?
I don't think so.
That's a shame. She could be doing all kinds of stuff.
But yeah, I had to get them. I saw them. I was like, you got to hook me up with these things.
Sell them on my site. Here we go.
Sell them at shows.
Oh, there you go. I feel like I would try to get into the high-end reptiles. Like that crazy snake guy. I hope that snake guy's back at the show with NARBC. We got to get a bet going on this coconut crab thing.
Coconut crab. What about it? What?
Do we need to do a bet first?
He said he has the answer.
He doesn't have an answer?
He does have the answer. He can come in the camera. Come on.
Let's go, Ty. Get that long hair, hippie hair in here.
There it is.
According to people that have been pinched by coconut crabs,
yeah,
it freaking hurts. But they're more scared of you than aggressive to you. So if they see you on their island, they'll run away.
You got to be dead.
I don't know. I think you could be sleeping.
They aren't attacking you.
All right. I mean, I don't think they're going to come dropping out of the trees on you.
The first time you've been proven wrong.
The first time? Noted. Noted. This is a big day.
Stop counting.
This is a big day on this show. This is the first time in the last 10 minutes. I called your dad Scott Ellicott at the beginning of this episode, for Christ's sake. I'm wrong all the time. But I'll take that. I still think they would eat you. I think if you're sleeping on that island, you're done. I don't know. That's my opinion.
I still don't think they'll touch you.
Yeah, because they like rip open garbage cans and stuff. Oh,
Did
see. Wally had money that if they pinch you, it freaking hurts. Yeah.
Did he win? What did he win?
I don't know.
You want
See-
to keep him.
I'll send you a keychain, Wally.
Nice. I'm guessing that Wally had a bet going with Nanette, and Nanette's tough. She's tough as nails. So, I mean, yeah, you guys were right, but I offered to make a bet right before Tyler came on, and nobody took me up on it. So, look at that! Look at that Isopod taking off. He's taking off with his shrimp at the top of the screen. He can hardly walk. He's got it. He's at the very top. He's walking on the wood, going into the moss right now. I'm touching him with my finger. Look. He was like, his mouth was way up, like, I got this.
Well, as long as you're keeping it in that bin, I'm all right with
He just took it off to the side.
it.
While he said Nanette just pinched him. That's awesome. That's awesome. He's almost the best guest to have on the show. Just to have Nanette in the background doing this. While he'll say something, she'll be like, no. She doesn't say a word. She just has the face and the shakes her head or nods. So yeah, this has been a good conversation.
It's been fun.
I've
Absolutely.
had a good time. So what we got
I hope everybody
takeaways?
else did that was watching.
I hope, yeah, all three of you. 4 people watching right now. Whoa!
4.
So we learned that coconut crabs won't chase you down and eat you like a cheetah. Those would be the slowest cheetah in the world. We learned that their pinches hurt. We learned that these isopods will definitely run off with a shrimp if they get a chance. Thank God we got to see that. I hope everyone else saw it. If you don't, rewind a little bit. Zoom in if you have to. He's in the top of the screen, right in the center. He's just waltzing off with this shrimp, dragging it. What else did we learn? What works for you doesn't work for me.
He's upside down eating it.
He's upside down eating it now?
Right there.
Oh, see, I can see the orange of the shrimp, but I can't see him. That's funny. Oh, yeah. There he is. He's laying on his back. I've never seen that. I'm going to go back through this video and just stare at that bin and see if anybody's trying to eat and getting, like, humped by their tank mate. Because dairy cows don't care.
Laevis don't care at all.
No, Laevis don't care, and zebras don't care. You can pick zebras up that are doing it, and they'll just be like, you got a problem? Like, they don't stop, nothing. Yeah, they got the, once they're there, they're there. That's all I can say with Tyler in the room. So, have a good night, Rich. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, it was a good time, as always, Scott.
It was fun.
This is the least formatted episode I've ever had, so I appreciate it.
That's how we roll.
I like this a lot. I like this, just rolling it out.
Get together and talk. That's it.
Yep, that's it. ISO buddies. That's what's essential to me. And the hobby. Like, get together with people. Talk about your nerd loves with fellow nerds. Because don't put that on some innocent non-isopod person. Don't try to force that on them. It's not cool.
Just join ISO.
Yeah,
we love it.
Yeah, if you haven't, I mean, I don't know who's not in ISO Buddies that's here, but maybe Moon. If you're not, join up. If you're not subscribed, everyone here is subscribed. So, so
yeah, I can't see who you're looking at. I only get us.
Oh, you can only see us on there? You can't see the scroll?
I see the dairy cows, but I don't see the talks or anything.
Oh, you probably have it maximized. I don't know what you can see and what you can't. Some of my guests can see the comments really easily, and some of them can't unless I put it in. So here's Wally says we rock.
You guys rock. See, now
Oh,
I
Wally's
see
going to be
it.
there. Wally, what night are you going to be at NARBC? Which day?
Saturday, probably.
That sounds like a Wally time. I don't work, so I can go anytime. So I'm going to meet people this time, and I'm going to bring the NARBC stickers that I made for the last show that I didn't actually get to meet anyone because everybody had left already.
All right, I guess we're all going Saturday.
We're all going Saturday. Show up Saturday morning. Bring some stamina. Maybe we'll get some lunch. It'll be good. It'll be good. Let's make a commitment.
I'll sneak
Iso buddies.
some VIP passes so we can just walk in.
Nice, Tyler. Nice.
I'm so
He's learning.
thrilled to sneak around anyway.
Tyler, you can learn a lot from a dummy. All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All
I'm just going to end it here. I'm just going to end it right here and kick out. We're not going to put you back in the
Right.
green room.